Come take a look at the newest Sky Dwarfs. The Grundstock Thunderers are finally here. Spiky bits. What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer with you again today, taking a look at the brand new Khardron Overlords unit. This is the Grundstock Thunderers. Of course, if you remember the Thunderers of old from the dwarven days of Warhammer Fantasies, of course, well, this makes sense, I suppose. So it's a 5 model kit. They're on 32 millimeter bases here, and it's it's a really interesting little kit. There are other models out there that you can use for the dwarfs that do have weapons. We know this, but these guys definitely have that new styling for this faction of Age of Sigmar, and I think they're pretty neat. Now, as far as the special weapons go, well, you get unfortunately one of each in this squad, but you do get enough to have all of your models have the normal Aether Shot rifle right there, and of course they have all of the color recipes and everything on the back as well. The kit itself is $40 from Games Workshop, and at the current time of the review on release weekend, it is out of stock. Now I think it kind of goes without saying for a lot of the kits from the Khardron Overlords, but it is what it is right there. Of course, you can probably get them in stock at Games Workshop stores as well as friendly local game stores. So let's take a look at the miniatures themselves. Bust these bad boys out. Like I said, they're on 32 millimeter bases. They've got a little bit of a wider stance. They have a kind of a 2-part leg system on some of the models. Not all of them, but a couple of them. These 3 right here, you can definitely see have that 2-part leg system right there. And then you can see the 2 over here do not. So a nice varied kind of styling of miniature poses for this. And then each individual one of them also has the Aether Shot gun. But let's take a look at the instruction manual just to kind of see how these bad boys go together. You can see right here, you've got the Gunnery Sergeant, which is your, upgrade sergeant. It does come with the Aether Shock rifle. And then you can also, can you upgrade that guy? Don't know if you can. Looks like he just comes with the Aether Shock rifle, and that is it for that one. And then you've got the Honor Bearer, which will have the little icon on the back of it, which conveys a little bit of a bump, and we'll cover that in the rules section here. Now it switches out between the Aether Shot rifle and the Grundstock mortar, and I like the little Acme little circle sight thing right there. Very World War I biplane-esque kind of styling right there for the gun, or for the sight of the gun. And then the next Thunderer comes with the Aether Cannon variant. The Deck Sweeper could go on this one right here. And the Etheric Yuma Gator also switches out with Thunderer number 3. Now remember, all these guys are multi-part. They've got different fronts. They don't quite go together the way we traditionally envision, like Space Marines and such. They don't have shoulder pads, but they do have a separate backpack. They do have a separate head. In a lot of cases, the front torso attaches to the front, and then some of them have an extra piece there for the leg, and then of course all of the arms attached together. And then there's the rules right there. Well, let's take a closer look at the miniatures. Zoom in on the sprue for you all, and you can kind of see some of the styling. This is the one with the Deck Sweeper. You can see it there on the left, and then you've got the heads and all sorts of different things. The front plate right there. Now here's our Chaos Space Marine for scale comparison, so it kind of gives you an idea. Yeah, they are a little shorter. They're going to come up to the chest of a Chaos Space Marine, but if you think about it, is that really a smaller dwarf? To be quite honest, the dwarf should be a little bit smaller than a Chaos Space Marine. So one of these is air quotes out of scale, so I don't know if this is a heroic dwarf or this is a heroic Chaos Space Marine scale instead of the true 20 millimeter scale. I'm not exactly sure anymore. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. And that looks like the Fumigator bit. Nope, that's the Etheric Cannon. It's kind of like a rocket launcher type deal looking thing right there. There's that one. We'll bust into the next sprue, which you can see. You've got the additional guns. There's the mortar. And kind of looking at it, trying to figure out which piece goes to what. Got the variant heads right there. Flip it over. And there's the sight. It's so cool. I really like that. And I like elements of, they combine all sorts of design elements for the ships with like locomotive parts and World War I flyers, a little bit of World War II, but more World War I and locomotive kind of styling, I feel like. And of course, Ironclad Ship of the Lines. There's the Honor Bearer bit, and there's the Fumigator. and the backpack parts. You can see the front torsos, the multi-part legs for some of those, and there's the rest right there. Very cool stuff right there. So, rules-wise, I think these guys are probably one of the must-haves for the list. If you take a look in the rulebook at them, you've got the Grundstock Thunderers. Now, points-wise, they're not that bad, to be quite honest. Check back here. You've got 5 for 100 points, which I feel like is very good points-wise for them. Now, when you take a look at the special abilities, they all come with the A3 shot rifle. You get that bit in the kit, which is okay. 2 attacks, 3 hit, 4 wound, -1 rend, 1 damage, okay. 4-inch move. They only have 1 wound, so these guys are very squishy. You got to be aware of this. 4 up save, 7 bravery right there. Now, personally, I feel like one of the better weapons in here is the etheric Yuma Gator. It has a very short range, but its attacks are on point. Its to hits on point. Its wounds on point. Unless you're getting a +1 to hit bonus somehow, I feel like this is the way to go right here. Or if you're getting a +1 to wound bonus, I feel like this is the way to go right here. But just keeping that in mind, this is going to put you in perilously close range to the enemy. So you want to keep in mind that you want something in this squad to help you, or something near the squad to help you in combat, which is where deep striking in some of the Zeppelins or the sky vessels and then jumping out, shooting, having something there either to buff you, like to go in front of you, like maybe a squad of the Arcanaut company just kind of sitting in front of you. These guys sit behind and blast, because remember, when you get out 3 inches. You can't deploy more than 3, then you can move 4, so that's a total of 7 inches from if you drop in using the special ability of one of the ships, which we'll talk about here in a second. You could be 7 inches, your range is 9, you drop in 9 inches away, so you're gonna be in range with your 9-inch guns, even if you put the Arcanaut company out in front to be a 10-man buffer inside your 5-man Thunderer unit, and then you can have some counter assault ability or some sort of character or something hanging out with you. So you're kind of making like a 1-2 kind of punch when you drop in with the vessel. And the way you drop in with the vessels is you take this one fleet list, which is in the front of the book here. Ooh, more in the front of the book. I think it is the Baer Zilfin Windswept City ability, and then you're going to be able to take one ship with the Aetheric Endrins, and that's going to let you deep strike in. Well, they don't call it deep strike. It's going to let you arrive from reserve within 9 inches of the enemy. Is exactly what it says. Now, as far as must-haves for this army go, I think these guys are probably it. Maybe the Endrin riggers too, and then of course enough of the company and frigates. The Arcanaut frigates, I think, would be a go-to to put these guys in, to drop them in. Maybe you could take the Ironclad, but that, again, you're gonna have to leave that in reserve, and that's also gonna kind of take away from your firepower at the start of the game. So that's kind of some ideas I'm kicking around in my head for the new Grundstock Thunderers. I think depending on how you build your army and how you build your bonuses and what characters heroes you take is kind of going to determine how you equip these guys right here. So if you like all of our video features here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and you can support us over on Patreon to get a monthly shipment of swag delivered to your door. And we also do quarterly shipments as well, so you can get a little mini army every 3 months delivered to your door as well. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. So that's it for our review and unboxing of the brand new Grundstock Thunderers for Age of Sigmar.